Hey guys, it's Marissa from Imagine This, an art and music studio for both kids and adults. And for this video, we are going over this week's lesson for our pre-art class. Our pre-art class is our youngest class, ages 2 to 5, but anyone's welcome to join in on the fun. We are doing 2 activities with the pre-art class today. I'll go over the first activity and supplies, and then when we start the second activity, I'll go over supplies for them too. So for our first project, you will need some paint, any colors you want. We just chose the primary red, blue, and yellow so we could mix more colors from that and practice our color mixing. You'll need to put it on either a little palette or a paper plate like we have here. You'll also need paintbrush, paper towel, something to wipe off the paintbrush with, some water, and then also some tape. It can be any kind of tape, but we prefer masking tape. Duct tape probably wouldn't work. Scotch tape might be okay. You can experiment with it and see what works best for you guys. So we've done activities similar to this one in class before. It's usually for Mother's Day or for Christmas where we write I love you in the tape and then let the kids paint over it. We take the tape off, the message on there. We're doing something similar today, except this time it's going to be up to your child to choose what designs we have on the paper. So it can be totally abstract, lots of lines. They can practice their shapes. It's a good opportunity to do that and practice drawing out their shapes with the tape. They can write their name with the tape. Whatever they want to do. Or if they just want lines everywhere, that's fine too. So one tip with this, parents, is when you take the tape off, before you give it to your child to let them put it wherever they want, what you should do is to make sure that we have a nice clean pull off at the end, is just to put it on your jeans. Just put the tape on your jeans or your pants, pull them off, and then you'll notice that you'll get a little bit of lint on the sticky side of the tape. So it's not quite as sticky. It will still stick to the paper fine. But when you put it on and later on when you take it off, it'll come off a lot cleaner and it won't have as many problems and it won't rip. So like I said, once you have the designs on, you can have your kid use a paintbrush to paint over it, or they can use their fingers if you have any kitchen utensils that maybe you're going to throw out that they want to experiment with. Just work with different sensories, and then when you're finished, you can take the tape off. When you take the tape off, you can go ahead and it doesn't really matter if it's completely dry or it's still a little bit wet. It will be easier if it's completely dry, but if your kid's really anxious to see it, it'll be just fine. Just go ahead and pull the tape off at a right angle. So instead of just pulling down along with the way the tape is going, we're going to pull at a right angle, and this again will make sure that there are limited amounts of problems. So I'm not actually going to demonstrate this for you because I want you guys to have the opportunity to choose whatever designs. Like I said, shapes, the kids' names, animals might be kind of fun, might be kind of tricky to do, it might be fun for you guys to do, and just to experiment with that. So I hope you guys have fun with that activity. Our second activity, you are also going to need a piece of paper, some paint, paintbrushes, water, towels. So if you're doing this one after the other, you can just keep working with the same paint that you already have. You'll need a new piece of paper. You will also need some tin foil in your kitchen. So we can do this. We're going to be doing some mono printing, which we've done similar projects in class before, so hopefully your child is familiar with this process and it will be fun. If not, it's a brand new thing to start out. What we're going to do is rip off a piece of the tin foil, lay it flat, and then there are 2 different ways that we can go about this. The first way that I'm going to show you, I'm going to get a big paintbrush, get it wet. Again, a great opportunity to talk about colors, how they can mix their favorite color, what red and blue make, which is what I'm doing right now. They can even paint this with their hands if they're already missing from the last one. I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to paint the tin foil all over. You can talk about texture, as there are many different bumps from sitting in the drawer probably, so you can talk about that. And then for this next step, I'm just going to use my finger, but I know that some kids, they don't like having paint on their fingers, so you can use your finger. If your kid doesn't want to get messy, that's completely fine. Then you can use a cotton swab, you can use a toothpick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a finger painting, and it doesn't have to be of anything. It can be of an animal, it can just be abstract, but I'm just going to use my finger, and as I paint with my finger on here, you'll notice that the paint is going to go away and it's going to pick up. So you can draw some designs on here. I'm going to just clean off my finger in between, just doing some swirls. So again, you can talk to your kids about how you're subtracting the paint. And once I'm happy with that design, we are going to get our piece of paper, place it on top, just drop it right on top, and then rub all around and get some color on here. Okay, so then once you pick it up, you'll see that the design, as well as the texture from the tin foil, is going to transfer over. So I'm going to show you guys another way that you can do some printmaking with tin foil. You can pull out a new piece of tin foil. Since we have paper on here and it's not a problem if we get paint on it, I'm just going to flip this guy over and reuse it. So this time you have the option again to use your finger or a pencil. I have this little stick here that I'm going to be using, and this time we're not going to paint first, but we're actually going to be scratching designs on here. Don't push too hard because we don't want to rip through it. You will notice, and your child will notice, that it feels a lot different than drawing or painting on regular paper. So again, an opportunity to talk about how this is a different texture in art. At this age, ages 2 to 5, you know, they're just learning their bodies and they're learning their senses. So that's why we talk a lot about these things to help them connect with art. So I'm just doing all these lines on here again, just some fun pattern. They want to do something more representative of an animal or even family, that's totally fine, whatever they want to do. I'm going to pick up this same paintbrush, just clean it off a little bit. This time maybe instead of purple, I'll do green. And then once again, I'm just going to paint over the scratches that we've made. You don't want too much paint. It's going to make a nice thin layer. And then again, I'm just going to use the other side of this piece of paper, but of course you're welcome to grab a new piece of paper. And we're going to put it on, same thing. We're going to spread. This paper is actually already dry, so I can just spread. Okay, and then once that's ready, go ahead and pull that off. Then you can see the difference between the two. This one's a lot more clear with the white, but this one has some really interesting textures going on, probably from my hand smushing it down, and they can see the designs that they've drawn. So it's a really fun opportunity to talk about transferring and talk about printing, color, shapes, but we hope you have fun with this project, and send some pictures. We'd love to see it.